So, if you've been in DeFi for any amount of time, you know MakerDAO. I mean, they're one of the original giants. Well, they just went through a massive transformation. It's the result of a multi-year plan they called Endgame, and it ends with a complete rebrand to Sky Protocol. So what's this all about? And why did one of the most successful projects in crypto feel the need to completely reinvent itself?
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the rebrand itself. What's new? Then, we'll dig into the why. The problems they were trying to solve. After that, we'll get into the fun stuff, the upgraded toolkit, the new growth engine they've built, and finally, we'll wrap up with the absolutely massive vision that's driving this whole thing.
All right, first things first. Let's be clear. This isn't just slapping a new logo on the website. This is a fundamental change to the architecture of one of DeFi's most important protocols.
So here it is in the simplest terms. MakerDAO is now Sky Protocol, and with that comes two new tokens. Now, crucially, the original MKR and DAI tokens are not going away. They're still fully functional. But now you have the option to upgrade. Your MKR governance token can become Sky, and the legendary DAI stablecoin can be swapped for USDS. These new assets are really the building blocks for everything that comes next.
And this quote from the founder, Rune Christensen, really gets to the heart of the matter. He believes stablecoins are crypto's killer app. The whole point of Endgame is to take that idea and put it on steroids, to evolve DAI from just a stablecoin into a full-blown, yield-generating financial ecosystem that is built to scale to a global level.
So that begs the question, right? Why go through all this trouble? Maker was already hugely successful. Why try to fix what wasn't broken? Well, turns out there were some serious cracks starting to show under the surface.
See, here's the thing. While DAO itself was a huge success, the DAO is hitting some major roadblocks. Governance had become super slow because, frankly, voters were getting tired. The name DAO was surprisingly causing brand confusion, especially with institutions who were looking for a clear USD equivalent. But the biggest issue? The original design just wasn't built to scale to the hundreds of billions of dollars they were aiming for. It had its limits.
And this wasn't a knee-jerk reaction. This is a carefully planned, multi-year rollout. We're in phase 1 right now, the launch season, with the new brand and tokens. The next steps are all about scaling up, launching new sub-projects, and expanding to multiple chains. It all eventually leads to a custom-built blockchain just for Sky Protocol. Okay, so how do you actually start solving those big problems? Well, you start at the very foundation. You upgrade your core tools. In this case, that means upgrading the tokens. So first up is USDS. You can think of it as DAI version 2.0. The swap from DAI is totally optional, and it's one-to-one. But the big difference here is that USDS is built from the ground up to be a yield-bearing asset. The goal is to make it the most attractive place for large pools of capital to park and earn. It's designed to be a high-performance savings vehicle, not just a static point.
And then you have Sky, the new governance token. Just like with DAI and USDS, MKR holders can choose to upgrade if they want to. This redenomination, this big token split, is really about preparing the supply for a much, much larger ecosystem and encouraging wider participation in governance.
And that number, 24,000, is so important. One MKR gets you 24,000 Sky. This wasn't just a random number they picked. It's a strategic move to massively increase the number of tokens in circulation. It makes things like rewards and grants much more granular. And, psychologically, it just makes participating in governance feel a lot more accessible to more people. Okay, so we've got the new brand, we've got the new upgraded tokens, but how does this whole thing actually scale to that $100 billion vision? Well, that's where two key innovations come in, Stars and Skylink. This is probably the most brilliant part of the whole plan. They're called Stars, but you might have heard of them as sub-DAOs. The best way to think about it is this. Sky Protocol is the new operating system, like iOS or Android. Stars are the apps that anyone can build on top of it. Each star is its own independent project with its own token, its own community, focused on its own little niche. This lets them innovate like crazy and take risks because if one star fails, it doesn't bring down the whole network. It's genius. And this isn't just a theory on a whiteboard. The first star, Spark, is already live and doing really well. It's basically a lending protocol that's deploying capital everywhere, in DeFi, in CeFi, even into tokenized real-world assets. Spark is the proof that this model works. It shows you can decentralize growth, and it actually happens.
Now, the other half of the growth engine is Skylink. Look, you can't get to $100 billion if you're stuck on Ethereum mainnet paying those high gas fees. It's just not going to happen. Skylink is the native bridge that connects USDS and Sky to all the big layer 2s. We're talking Base, Arbitrum, Optimism. This is what unlocks the speed and low costs you need to onboard the next wave of millions of users.
So you put it all together, the new brand, the upgraded tools, this incredible new growth engine. What's the end goal? What are they building towards? Well, it's a financial protocol on a scale that, honestly, DeFi has never even come close to before.
And the ambition here is just wow. The stated public goal of Endgame is to grow the stablecoin supply from where it is now, around $10 billion, to over $100 billion. That's a tenfold increase. This isn't just about becoming a slightly bigger DeFi protocol. This is a bet that Sky Protocol can become a core piece of the entire global financial system.
And this isn't just some pipe dream. The protocol's already an absolute financial powerhouse. I mean, look at these numbers. It's on track to generate almost $500 million in revenue and over $160 million in pure profit annually. This is the economic engine that's going to fund the whole expansion, drive rewards, and fuel the growth of the entire ecosystem.
So, in the end, that's what Endgame is. It's a massive experiment. It's a bet that the only way for a DAO to truly scale is to decentralize itself, to give up control and let 1,000 different projects, 1,000 stars, all bloom at once. The big question we're all going to be watching is this the blueprint for the future of every DAO? Or is it a cautionary tale of what happens when you unleash a level of complexity you just can't control? Only time will tell.
Yeah, the algorithm's locked and loaded, feeling opulent. Every single trade I make is going professional. Let the numbers do the talking, watch the money multiply. Stacking up the wins until they're reaching for the sky. Winning in the game, feeling so alive. Yeah. Winning in the game,